Okay guys, here it is, the moment you have been waiting for. I got so excited, I cut my lip while shaving getting prepped for this video. Fender has just released new firmware for the ToneMaster Pro. It's version 1.3. Not quite sure what the last numbers are yet, but it's 1.3. And let me tell you, there is a lot to go over here. We'll go over it all briefly in this video, and then we'll get more in depth in videos to come in this week and the next couple weeks. And I'll have links in the description for the firmware and for the app. Alrighty then, let's dig in, and we'll start off with the new features first. For the Fender Pro Control app, now you can create, edit, and share presets wirelessly with iOS or Android phones and tablets. Yep, I've got it on my iPad, and I've got it on my Samsung phone. Works perfectly. You can share to or download presets from the community of users and artists. Supports iOS 13.1 or later, and supports Android 8, only ARM64-V8A or later. So you're not just locked into the desktop anymore. Now you can use your tablet or your phone, and both apps work great. Next, SD card backup and restore. You can store up to 25 backups locally on a micro SD card. And guys, it has to be a micro SD card, the little tiny one. There's options for backup/restore located in settings, user preferences. It supports all micro SD cards. Backups done on the ToneMaster Pro will now get stored on the SD card. Backups using the Pro Control app will still go to the cloud. And I'm telling you, using that micro SD card couldn't be easier. I had a new one sitting around in a package, just a little one. It doesn't need to be big. Just put it in the slot, and it walks you through everything as usual. It's really easy to use, and it works great. Block settings. New block setting menu in block edit screens. Block settings allow you to save personalized settings for amp/cab/effect blocks and recall them from add/replace menus. Save up to 5 user block settings per model. And boy, is that nice. You know, instead of having to do your same settings every time you pull up a particular dirt box or a particular delay or something, you just save it as a preset. It's wonderful. EXP Live Mode. When enabled, the preset reads the current position of the expression pedal on preset change. This is useful for global volume by adding a volume pedal block to each preset. Yes, so now if your presets have volume pedals, you can bounce back and forth between them. Whatever the volume setting is in one, that will be the volume setting in the other preset as well. Third-party IR speaker impedance curves. This allows you to select an appropriate speaker impedance curve that most closely matches your third-party IR. Now, if I counted them right, I think we have 26 speaker impedance curves now. Global EQ and mixer foot switch control now implemented. Parameter levels displayed on scribble strips, and faders can be controlled from foot switch encoders. External cab option added to standalone cabinet list. Allows the use of the ToneMaster Pro amp models sent to an external cabinet or IR in the DAW. Okay, now we come to new models, new toys. New amp models, 62 Princeton, 65 Deluxe Reverb Blonde NBC, no bright cap. And let me just pause right now to say that Blonde Deluxe Reverb, that is my new favorite without a doubt. It is just a great, great amp. Solo 100 Overdrive, inspired by the Soldano SLO 100, and the Tangerine RV53, inspired by the Orange Rocker Verb 50 MK3. New cab models, 1x10 62 Princeton C10R, 1x12 62 Princeton CS, 4x12 Solo G12, 4x12 Freeman Greenback, 4x12 Bassbreaker V30, 4x12 Tangerine V30, 4x12 British V30, 4x12 British G65. New effect models. Superdrive, inspired by the extremely popular and indispensable Boss SD1. Rocketman, inspired by J Rocket's The Dude. Big Apple Fuzz, inspired by Electro-Harmonix Big Muff Fuzz V9, also known as the New York City version. Little Rock Phaser, inspired by the Electro-Harmonix Small Stone. Analog Delay, inspired by the Boss DM2. Echo Tank, inspired by the Ibanez SoundTank EM5 Echo Machine. Reverse Nebula Reverb, Fender original that reverses the Nebula Reverb. Filtron, inspired by the Mutron Microtron 4. And the Enigma Filter, inspired by the filter setting in the Korg A3 rack unit. Product enhancements. Songs now allow custom labels for each foot switch. Song labels now use large font on scribble strips. User IR level is now displayed in decibels instead of percentage. Volume pedal effect now supports both mono and stereo signals. Tuner now mutes only the channels that are being tuned. Fixes. Resolved issues with FX loops 3 and 4. That's a biggie. Scrolling improvements for presets with more models than fit on the screen. Fixed an issue in which moving a block to another channel within a signal path type can reset block parameters to default. Fixed a UI display issue in the mixer when adjusting a fader with the gradient view. Fixed issue related to some effects having a volume drop when placed post-amp model. Volume pedal fully mutes signal when set to 0%. Flanger rate knob taper modified to be closer to reference pedal. Yay! Fixed click on tape echo models. Yay! All amps, cabs, and effects are phase coherent from input to output. Cancel button no longer persists after exiting add block from signal path. Celestial reverb will no longer self-oscillate if pitch 1 or pitch 2 set to 0. Foot switches no longer show My Presets bank instead of Favorites bank after overriding a Favorites preset. And corrected tonal difference between space delay mono and stereo. Guys, this is one packed firmware update. Obviously, I am quite impressed with what Fender did this time around. Now, I've been trying out some of the new stuff, but I haven't been able to try out everything because there's just so much to try. So we'll be going over this update more in depth in the upcoming weeks, going over each update, trying out the new pedals, etc. But again, let me say that new Blonde Deluxe Reverb, I'm telling you, that thing is wonderful. And if you're still here, thank you so much for stopping by and sticking around. I really do appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, comments, or suggestions, drop them here. I get to them as soon as I possibly can, and I will do everything I can to help you. Now, this Wednesday, I will have all new content about the new firmware update. You don't want to miss that. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. All right, guys, have a fun week playing with this new firmware, and I will see you again on Wednesday.